Welcome aboard the cosmic journey that is the Spirituality with Ashley podcast, where we dive deep into the mystical realms of metaphysics and spirituality. I'm your host, Ashley, a certified Akashic Records reader and energy healer and trained psychic medium. You're in the right place if you're ready to expand your consciousness and unlock the wisdom and insights that light up our path of self-discovery and growth. If you enjoy the show, please give it a 5-star rating and share it with friends and family. Come along with me on this journey of exploration where the universe speaks and we listen with open hearts. Let's dive in. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode. Or if you're new here and this is your first episode you're listening to, hey girl, hey. And also, hey there, hey, because we don't want to leave anyone out. And you do not have to be a woman to listen to this podcast and get something out of it. We are all inclusive around these parts and spreading that energy into the world, one greeting at a time, apparently. All right. As always, I'm super excited to have you here today, listening on the other end, because today we're talking about a topic that is close to my heart and it's crucial for living a fulfilled life. The difference between your soul purpose and your vocation, your job, your career. And if you've ever felt the nagging sense that there's just something more that you're meant to do, but you're not sure how to align that feeling with your daily work, then you, my dear, are in the right place. Look at that glorious divine timing for the win. All right, so today we're going to get into the fundamental differences between your soul purpose and your job. We'll talk about how to figure out what your soul purpose is and then how to align with it, how to choose a vocation that truly embodies or reflects your inner calling, and why it can be extremely impactful when choosing to live in alignment with your soul's mission. Plus, we'll dive into what can happen if you ignore your soul's true calling. Spoiler alert, it is something we definitely want to avoid. So get comfy, grab your favorite tea or coffee or beverage of choice, and let's get into it. All right, so the phrase soul purpose is thrown a lot. Thrown a lot. Okay. The phrase soul purpose is thrown around a lot. So I want to start by defining it so that we can all be on the same page. Your soul purpose is about the unique inherent reason for your existence. It's the deep underlying mission that secretly or not so secretly drives you. And a lot of the time, if not most of the time, it's tied to your core values, your passions, and the essence of who you are as a soul. And whereas you may choose a job or a role, your purpose isn't really something you choose. It's something that you discover. It's a calling that resonates with your deepest, I said that weird, with your deepest desires and the qualities that make you you. Your soul purpose is actually linked to your spiritual journey and personal growth, because as we navigate through our lives, each experience, each lesson, each challenge brings us closer to understanding our true purpose or our soul's purpose. And it's more than just what you do. It's about who you become in the process of living your soul's purpose. When you're making choices that align with your soul purpose, you're not only fulfilling your own potential, but you also contribute to the collective consciousness. I already need to take a sip. My electrolytes. All right, so realizing or discovering your soul's purpose and aligning with it is a journey of becoming the best version of yourself and expressing your unique energy in ways that bring joy, fulfillment, and meaning to your life and to the lives of others. So if you're someone who's been wondering how you can help the collective, you can do that just by remembering and aligning with your soul purpose. Okay, so I feel like we pretty much have a good understanding about what soul purpose is. So now let's define vocation. A vocation is essentially your career, your occupation, your job. Technically, a vocation gets a bit deeper in that it's a little more than the skills you have or the roles you play, and it's more about finding the pursuit that resonates with your passions and aligns with your sense of purpose. So when you're choosing the ways in which you want to live your purpose, you'd probably be considering different vocations. And the key difference between a job, a career, and a vocation is in the depth of engagement and fulfillment. So a job is usually seen as like a task or series of tasks that you do to earn money. A career on the other hand, is more of a long-term professional journey. And there's often a focus on growth and advancement within a particular field. A vocation, however, transcends these definitions. It's more about finding that sweet spot where your skills and your passions and a sense of higher purpose intersect. It's not just about making money and surviving in the system. It's about making a life that feels aligned and fulfilling. So when you find your vocation, work becomes an expression of your authentic self and your soul's purpose. So now we're going to drill down a little bit deeper because that's what we do here, or at least it's what I'm here to do. It's one of my gene keys, one of my human design gates. Going deep is what my soul just, that's where I thrive. Okay, so a vocation is more about how you express and manifest your soul purpose in the world. So think of a vocation as the vehicle through which you can express your soul purpose. But it's important to remember that the vocation itself is not the purpose. So here are some examples of what this could look like. Someone whose sole purpose revolves around healing might express this purpose through various vocations, like becoming a doctor or a therapist or even a yoga instructor. Each vocation or job, career, offers a different avenue to fulfill their soul's calling and to help others heal. Another person might have a sole purpose centered around creativity and expression. And this person would likely find fulfillment as an artist, a writer, a designer. And the key to this is that the vocation aligns with and supports the expression of the soul purpose, but it's not the purpose itself. And it's important to make this distinction because the ways in which you express your soul purpose can evolve over time. So you may have started off wanting to be a therapist, and then as you evolve, so does your soul purpose. So now you may want to be a yoga instructor who holds spiritual retreats. Or maybe the evolution is that you were a therapist, but realized you actually have a passion for working with trauma patients in the emergency room. So you pivot into becoming a doctor. Your soul purpose isn't one thing you do for the rest of your life. It's more like the underlying passion or traits being expressed through your job. Another example of this is one of my friends, Heather. We had a great discussion about soul purpose and her job during her Akashic Soul Blueprint reading. And Heather's career in sales and corporate networking aligned beautifully with her soul purpose. Her work involves helping people to transition between jobs and coaching them around their career choices, which allows her to live her authentic expression and share new perspectives on life and work. And she also uses her gifts to support her soul purpose, which is even more amazing. So basically, she guides individuals through these transitions and teaches from her own experiences and inner perspective and helps them to transform their old stories into inspiring new paths. And her ability to work with various energies and transmute negative imbalances into love and light is reflected in her capacity to support others during challenging job transitions and turning denser, darker energies into positive, uplifting experiences. So I really wanted to use the example of Heather's soul purpose and job because I specifically wanted to highlight the fact that Heather isn't necessarily in a spiritual role, but she's still living her purpose, using her gifts, and she's happy and fulfilled in her work. So when I first, oh, hey, Heather, shout out. Told you I was going to mention this on the podcast. Thank you for letting me in. So when I first found out about soul purpose and soul missions and gifts and all of that, I thought it was all connected to spiritual stuff. And I think a lot of people have that misconception starting out, but we're all still humans having a human experience. And not all of us are here to do spiritual readings and psychic stuff as our main job. So I hope that gives you some clarity and helps to ground this topic a bit. All right. So I want to talk about how to find your soul purpose. And when I say find, I really mean discover or remember, because it's not something that you have to find. It's there. You're just trying to reconnect with it. So the first method that comes to mind for discovering your soul purpose is, drum roll, please, Akashic Soul Blueprint readings. Oh, I'm just so excited about this. I'm going to be talking about it for a while, guys. So these in-depth readings dive into the depths of your soul's history, your unique talents and gifts that you may not have even been aware of, and your soul purpose. And in these readings can reveal past life influences that have shaped who you are today, and they can also offer a broader perspective on your current life mission. So People experience some pretty profound transformations after discovering their soul purpose through these readings. So it's definitely worth trying at least once in your life. And an example of how life-changing it can be is essentially, like a very specific example would be realizing that you have a gift for healing and then starting a holistic therapy practice, which makes you feel fulfilled and aligned with your true self. Or in Heather's case, getting the validation that she's very much in alignment and on her path because she's already doing the thing. She's using her gifts, she's living her purpose, and she's doing it through her job. And every time we've spoken, she enjoys her job, she likes it, which is wonderful. So if you do want to book an Akashic Soul Blueprint reading, you can do it on my website, ashleybrickhouse.com. And if you want to learn more about them, you can just listen to the episode right before this one, episode 26, where I just talk about the ins and outs, the benefits, and what to expect from an Akashic Soul Blueprint reading. Now, let's say you're not necessarily interested in all of the information and stuff that comes along with an Akashic Soul Blueprint reading, and you just want to know about your soul purpose. I've created a simplified mini reading that not only focuses on that only focuses on your soul purpose. So unlike Akashic Soul Blueprint readings, which explore a broader range of influences and gifts, soul purpose readings are specifically focused on identifying your soul purpose, along with guidance on how to align your daily life with your soul's purpose and deepest desires to help you to be able to understand the unique contributions that you're meant to make in the world. So some of the other tools and practices for remembering your soul purpose, if you don't want to get a reading for whatever reason, which is totally fine, because I always say, like, get a reading when you feel like getting a reading, when you feel inspired, very excited about it, and drawn to a specific person for a reading. I don't think you should just get a reading for the sake of getting a reading. Like, there's an inspiration factor that's in it for when it's time, when you're ready for that information. So listen to your intuition as always. So some other tools and practices for remembering your soul purpose are meditation, journaling, self-reflection, same tools I mentioned probably almost every episode. They're great tools. And through these methods, you can connect with your higher self and your guides, and they can help you to gain clarity on your soul's purpose. So regular meditation can help you to learn to quiet your mind so that you can tap into deeper insights. And then journaling can help you to articulate your thoughts and feelings, which can help you to uncover patterns and passions that might point toward your purpose. You can also work with experienced spiritual teachers, guides, and spiritual readers to get personalized insight and support. You can also participate in workshops or retreats. These can be life-changing and transformative. They usually offer very immersive experiences that can help to deepen your understanding of your own spiritual path, which in turn can help you to understand what your soul purpose is. So you can also pay attention to clues in your everyday life that point toward your soul purpose. So paying attention to activities and topics that excite and energize you can be really super helpful because they're indicators of your soul's passions. Also, pay attention to the recurring themes and interests that have been present throughout your life. These can also offer really valuable insights into what your true calling is. And also reflecting on your natural talents and skills, the things you're already like aware of, the things that come effortlessly to you, can also reveal how your soul purpose aligns with these gifts. How they can reveal how your soul purpose aligns with using your talents and your skills, your gifts, in order to contribute to the world in a meaningful way. All right, so now that we've gone over how to identify your soul purpose, how do we go about choosing a vocation or a job or a career that aligns with our soul purpose? So this can be a daunting task, but it's all about finding the right fit that feels true to who you are at a deeper level. And man, did I struggle with this. So I am a manifesting generator in human design, and I have so many passions. I'm also an Aries sun, so I'm super impulsive, and I'll just like dive into something super excited and passionate about it. I'm just like all in, and then I get bored and I find something else even more exciting, and then I dive into that. It's just like this cycle. I am a starter, okay? I initiate, I start, get really excited about it, and then I'm like, So I feel like I've gone through it trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. But once I understood my soul purpose and started working with this energy, it really helped me to bring it all together. So if you're like me and you feel like you're just all over the place, you are not alone. I've got you. And it's okay to change your mind, by the way. We are ever changing, adaptable as fudge. So I don't want you to feel like you have to make a decision and then stick to it for the rest of your life. I was a personal trainer and a nutrition coach for over a decade. And then I got divorced, ended up homeless, no job, no money, no car, nothing, and honestly, no hope for a little while. But I made a career transition somehow into tech in my mid 30s. And then I was loving that and thriving. Yes, I complained a lot, but I found financial security and I honestly found abundance. Like I found time abundance. I had financial abundance. It was just working out. Things were flowing, things were smooth. And little did I know, but I was actually incorporating my purpose and my gifts into that job role, or the different job roles I had. Because I switched. Like I said, you can change your mind. It's okay. Um, but anyway, I definitely incorporated my purpose into the different roles I had, into that career. And then I evolved. And man, when I tell you that evolution and change can be so scary, but I'm learning that choosing to flow with that evolution rather than fight it, to stay with what's familiar and safe, is so much more rewarding. Terrifying at first and throughout, if we're being honest, but so worth it. When you go from happy and excited to miserable and dreading, that is a sign of some evolution happening. And so it's okay. Pivot, change up what's happening, change up what you're doing, make some changes. It's time. Life is change. Okay. Anyway, though, vulnerable moment, check. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. How to choose a vocation aligned with your soul purpose. Okay. So first, you have to assess whether or not a vocation aligns with your soul purpose. So ask yourself, does this job excite you? Does it feel fulfilling? These are crucial indicators that you're on the right track. If you answered yes. If you answered no, then back to the drawing board you go. Did not mean to rhyme. Okay, next, it's important to consider whether the vocation aligns with your values and brings you a sense of passion and fulfillment. Your vocation or your job, whatever you want to call it, should feel like an extension of your soul's mission, not just a way to earn a paycheck. So here are some practical steps to simplify this process a bit. Identify what your transferable skills are, and then figure out or brainstorm how they can be applied in different fields. So I love examples. Let's say you have strong communication skills from a background in education, where you've been teaching and explaining complex concepts to students or clients. These skills are actually highly transferable to a career in marketing, where you could use your ability to convey information clearly and persuasively, to create compelling marketing campaigns and write engaging content and stuff like that. Or maybe you've been working in engineering and you probably have great problem solving skills and critical thinking skills. As someone who works in engineering, definitely the case. These can be these skills can translate to a role in project management, where you can oversee projects, troubleshoot issues, ensure that goals are met efficiently. And this kind of experience in analyzing data and processes can be really valuable in coordinating teams, managing resources across various industries. And you can do it from construction all the way to technology. So because this is a spiritual podcast, the Spirituality with Ashley podcast, and I know I'm particularly interested in this industry, spirituality. It feels weird calling it an industry, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. So I have to add some spiritual examples. So let's say you've developed your intuition and you're doing spiritual readings. Those skills can be applied to coaching or counseling roles. And I actually have a friend who is a licensed therapist. This is, I guess, another example. She's a licensed therapist who has started incorporating her gifts of super strong intuition and empathy and channeling into her therapy sessions, which is really cool. So whether you're taking your skills, yeah, it's pulling your skills in. Okay, guys, pulling your skills in. So once you've identified your transferable skills, then you want to make sure that you're being flexible and open to change and trusting your intuition when you're making these career decisions. And sometimes the path that seems less conventional or secure is the one that will lead to greater fulfillment and alignment with your true self. And remember, when you're in alignment, you invite in more abundance. You attract more abundance. Those are the signals you're sending out. So we want to be aligned. And I can personally speak to this in volumes, but I'm planning to do a dedicated episode for that topic. So moving on. Lastly, the final step, because we're just going to keep it down to 3 steps. Final step in choosing your vocation aligned with your soul purpose is that if you're trying to make a career transition or you're considering a career transition, you may want to start just by researching and exploring new fields that resonate with your soul purpose. And you can look for opportunities that allow you to use your unique gifts and talents. And it's important, by the way, very important to make small or to take, I'm sorry, to make small changes. I'm pausing because I'm like, that's not really me. I just talked about my Aries sun. I'm very impulsive and I don't always go like small. I go big or go home. So like I was like, oh, make small changes. But like I don't know. I'll jump into the pool. I don't dip my toe into things. I'm gonna say follow your intuition, align with your energy, make the changes you feel are necessary to make, take some inspired action. So take manageable steps. I'll say manageable, not small. Take manageable, sustainable steps toward this shift. So as you're trying to choose your vocation, you're going to take manageable steps toward this transition, whether that means taking a course, networking in a new industry, maybe, or like going to a conference. If you're interested in pivoting into tech, go to a tech conference, network with people, see what it's like. If you're going to pivot into the spiritual industry, again, feels weird to say that. Then go to join a group. Like, oh my God, that's what I did. Actually, I was like, oh no, this is so lonely. I was looking for a spiritual teacher. I happened to find an Akashic Records course on, where did I find it? Udemy.com. And yeah, that's how I found my first spiritual community and made so many friends. And I love them all so much. So yeah, that helped me a lot, was finding a community, and networking in a new industry. Or you can also start a side project or a side hustle. So trust that your journey honestly will unfold as you stay aligned with your soul purpose. So just follow your interests, listen to your nudges, keep moving forward. So as we approach the end of this episode, which is amazing, I cannot believe I haven't been talking for an hour and we're about to approach the end of the episode. Honestly, though, I don't want all the episodes to be like an hour, I want some of them to just be like, hey, here's 15 minutes of Ashley giving you a pep talk, you know? Okay, anyway, I don't know what. Why do I have these side conversations? Whatever, that's me. I'm being authentic here. Okay, so as we approach the end of the episode, begrudgingly, I want to talk about the impact of living your soul purpose versus not living your soul purpose, which I could speak to personally. I could speak to all this stuff personally. That's why we're doing the podcast, guys. Okay, so living your soul purpose can bring really profound and positive changes to your life. When you're aligned with your soul's calling, with your soul purpose, you experience a deep sense of fulfillment and joy that resonate in your energy and permeate your daily activities. You just feel better. And when you have this drive that energizes and inspires you, you'll experience more motivation and resilience. Your overall well-being will honestly improve significantly, and you'll notice a greater sense of satisfaction and peace in your life. And I can tell you that in tech, when I was data engineering all day, that was my 9 to 5. That was my normal routine. When I stopped being excited about it, it was hard. It was so much energy. It was so hard to do that job. And when I started paying attention to what I was passionate about, what I was excited about, and I got to do that, then I was excited about it. I was still tired. I'm not a huge morning person. Like, don't even look at me until I've been awake for 2 hours and like had at least a cup of coffee or a couple cups of water. Like, don't even look at me. But when I get to wake up and like do readings, do the podcast, create content, I'm excited. It doesn't matter how tired I am. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like excitement. And then I'm just in a better mood. I have more patience. I'm more motivated. I have more energy. I'm just happier all around. My well-being absolutely significantly improved. And when you're not living your soul purpose, you might feel dissatisfaction, a lack of direction, a sense of unfulfillment, a lack of fulfillment. I don't like the word unfulfillment. So it might feel like you're trudging through your days, just trying to make it to the weekend. You might dread getting up in the morning. And you also might face a lot of challenges and blocks to abundance. So it's important to recognize and pursue what truly resonates with you in order to achieve a harmonious and vibrant life that you enjoy living. And I know that it can get easy to just be complacent and get caught up in the hamster wheel of this systemic enslavement that we live in. But there's a way out if you so choose. I just got an image of Neo in the Matrix when Morpheus holds out the red pill or the blue pill. And I say this with a heavy heart because, guys, I've been stuck in the system multiple times. I've stayed at jobs that just drained the ever loving life out of me. And I kept trudging through and just thinking it was helping me to see more shadow work I needed to do. And yes, that's one perspective. But when you can describe your job as soul sucking, it probably is not aligned. But we live in a society where a system has been perpetuated, a system that says that you need to make money to survive. And if you're making money and paying bills, then what are you complaining about? But life is not about paying your bills. Life is about living, having experiences, finding what you do and don't like, and choosing more of what you do like. It's not about finding what you do and don't like and just getting comfortable with what you don't like so it doesn't suck as much. And I'm laughing because I've been there. No, that is not what we're doing. And I will not encourage that mindset. I will always encourage and empower you to chase your dreams because they will not chase you. That song just popped into my head. What's the name of it? Chase your dreams. Chase your dreams because they won't chase. I think it's a country song. Anyway, listen to your intuition. Pay attention to how you feel and take action to make the changes that you need to make so that you can enjoy your life. And I know it's scary, but you're not alone. This is why I do what I do. I want to help you find clarity around how to live your best life. And I'm so passionate about reminding you of your power and your worth and your infinite potential. I've got you and I'm here. Okay. You're not alone. Just reach out. Okay. Stepping down off my tiny soapbox and stepping back up to the podcast mic. So where was I? Jeez. Okay. Yes. Consequences of ignoring your purpose. Okay. Feeling empty, lack of direction, and or dissatisfaction in work and life. If you continue down this road of ignoring the signs, ignoring how you're feeling, there's potential for physical and emotional burnout. And I am here nervously raising my hand in the back of the room because, oh my God, this was me. Like, man, am I stubborn. And man, do I love me some logic. I am so analytical and in my head. Like, my challenge in this life is getting into my body, feeling into my body. I will argue with my intuition all day long because I can see the logic that my intuition doesn't line up with. My intuition is going left and my logic is going right. And I'm like, but right makes sense. Left doesn't make sense. It's just the intuition. I need to know the why. I need to know all the things and I need support and evidence. And it got to the point where I didn't even get the choice to ignore the nudges that my intuition was giving me. My brain and my body were just like, nope, we're done. So if you were on the verge of burnout, I am begging you to take a step back and listen. Rest, recalibrate, come get a reading if that's what you feel like you need. And let's just talk about it and find you a way forward that doesn't involve getting ill or going into brain freeze because I legitimately do care. I actually posted a video about purpose and vocation on my TikTok. It was the same as this episode, purpose versus vocation. And the comments from people were, I want to say validating, question mark, but I want to put a period, validating, period. This one woman, if you're listening, shout out to you for sharing this with me. And it was so funny. I mean, funny because it's relatable, but she said she got sick and then she didn't want to take time off of work. Raise your hand if you have a hard time taking time off from work. I'm here again in the back of the room. Anyway, this woman, she kept pushing to the point that she got sicker and had to take time off. Like, she was forced to take time off because of her health. So then she tried to go back to work, even though she felt like it wasn't aligned, and they wouldn't let her come back. They were like, nope, we're actually going to let you go. And she and I were kind of laughing about it because she was like, yeah, the universe is like, you're not doing that again. Nope, you're not going to listen. We're going to do it for you. So if you keep ignoring the signs, the universe may just make the choice for you. And when I say the universe, I don't mean that like there's an external thing forcing you onto one path. It's you. It's you. Okay. Guys, I want you to remember that discovering and aligning with your soul purpose is not a destination. It's actually a high-end luxury resort. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously though, discovering and aligning with your soul purpose is not a destination. It's a lifelong journey. And it's okay if you don't have it all figured out right now. It's okay if you don't have it all figured out at all. This path is about exploration and growth. It's not a final answer. There will be moments of clarity and others where you feel lost. And that's all part of the process. So embrace the ups and downs. And please continue to be kind to yourself as you navigate this ever evolving journey, because each step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to living a life that feels truly aligned with your soul's deepest desires. So trust the process, try to stay open to change, and know that every experience, even the challenging ones, are guiding you toward a more fulfilled, authentic self or authentic expression of yourself, and that you're doing amazing. And I am so proud of you. Okay, so let's recap. Aligning with your soul purpose is about creating a life that resonates deeply with who you are at your core. It's about finding that sweet spot where your passion meets your path. And I should say passions, where your passions meet your path, because we are multi-passionate here. I am. And every step toward that alignment that you are looking for enriches your journey. So even if you're not perfectly aligned, just you moving toward alignment, you making choices that are closer to alignment than the misaligned choices, that's you still moving forward. That's still you making progress. So embracing your soul purpose can really lead to profound fulfillment and a life that feels exciting and meaningful. And I encourage you to dive into this exploration with an open heart. If you're feeling called to discover more about your unique soul path, consider booking an Akashic Soul Blueprint reading or a soul purpose reading. These sessions can really offer you personalized insights and guidance that can help you to navigate your path with more clarity and confidence. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts or any questions you might have. So feel free to reach out on social media or through email. My email is support@ashleybrickhouse.com. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to rate the podcast and give it a follow and share the episode with a friend who might benefit. Connect with me on social media for more updates and insights. You can find me on all the platforms at Spirituality with Ashley. Stay mindful, stay focused, and keep believing in yourself. Until next time, keep dreaming big and living your best life. See you in the next episode.